when was the moment that you felt like we've created something special? Maybe a moment where you're proud of that this has the potential to actually be the very implementation of the idea that I initially had.
There's so many little moments. It's like, and I bet there'll still be moments in the future that make it hard to like totally say. Like,
yeah, we should say this is still very early days of Librex. Right?
Yeah, it's
only been a year
since we've had like actual like a lot of people on the app. Yeah, about a year.
Oh wow, okay.
I mean, there's some crazy moments. I could talk about sort of going to Dartmouth, because it's one thing to like get some traction at your school.
Yeah,
people know you, and you know it's your school. You know, it's another thing to go to another school and where no one knows you and sign up 90% of the campus overnight.
Wow. So tell me that story. You're invading another territory.
It was literally like that.
Did you buy it like a Dartmouth sweatshirt?
Purposefully, I didn't want to fraud anyone, but I was purposefully nondescript in my clothing. Yeah. No Yale stuff, no Dartmouth stuff. Just blend in. I'll go back there. So what happened was, this was like March of last year. So almost a year ago today. And I really wanted to see if we could go from sort of one campus to two campuses. So I didn't know anyone at Dartmouth campus, but I had some cold emails, some warm-ish emails. And I went to people and I was like, basically, can I sleep on your floor for 2 days during finals period?
Yeah.
I had a lot of people who said, this is crazy. Like no one wants to download an app during finals period, a social app during finals period. But I emailed a few people and I was like, you know, can I sleep on your floor? And one of them was crazy enough to say, sure, come to my dorm. I have a nice floor. And he ended up, today he's still really close. He's a really close friend. But anyway, I take a train knowing nothing about this guy besides his first and last name. And I arrive, and Dartmouth is really, really remote. Way more remote than you think, to the point where I'm like, he's like, he warned me. He's a really hospitable guy. He warned me like, it's going to be hard to get to campus from the train station because it's really remote. And I'm like, I'm sure it's fine. I'll just get an Uber. Yeah. There are no Ubers in Hanover. What do you think this is?
New Hampshire. So Connecticut, I mean, Yale is pretty remote as well, no?
Yeah, Yale is, Yale's in New Haven, which is a real city. It has Ubers, it has food, it has culture, it has a nightclub even.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about a real city. Like, it's not New York, it's not Philadelphia where I'm from, but it's a city. New Hampshire is something very different.
Yeah. Beautiful campus, I'm sure.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I could talk so much about, I was blown away by Dartmouth. I started wondering like why I didn't apply. Legitimately. Between the people and the culture, it was a beautiful vacation. So I arrived there, no Uber, but eventually I call this guy who's like the only guy who can get you to Dartmouth, and it takes a couple hours, but we get there. I sleep on this guy's floor. I wake up. I ask him if there's any printing. He's like, oh, Dartmouth happens to have free printing in the copy room. I print out like 2,000 posters until the guy in the copy room literally goes to me. He's like, kid, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to get out of here. I'm like, all right, I'm going.
I found the limits.
I know. Yeah, I found the limit. And I think a lot of startups is about finding the limits. Maybe that's a little piece of advice. Socially.
Yeah.
He's like, you gotta get out of here. And I then go to every single dorm door. I put a poster under every single dorm door advertising the app with a QR code.
Yeah.
I walk around campus saying hi to everyone and telling them about the app. I go from table to table in the cafeteria, introduce myself, say hi, and tell them to download the app. It's an exhausting day. So many steps, so much crouching down to slip the poster under the dorm door. My legs were burning. But by the end of it, 24 hours later, I'm sitting in a bus and I'm just pressing the refresh button on the account creation panel. It's like going up by hundreds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. There's something.
Word of mouth is working in a sense. I mean, certainly your like initial seed is powerful.
Just a piece.
Yeah, but then the word of mouth is what carries it forward. And what was the explanation you gave to the app? It's is anonymity a fundamental part of it? Like saying this is a chance for you to speak your mind about your experiences on campus?
Yeah, I think people get it. You don't need to, what I've realized is you don't need to tell people why to try it.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
There's
a hunger for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all I do is I'm very factual. I said, and this is where I kind of ended up coining the line that I now use to say it, because I said it so many times in those 24 hours. I just said it's an anonymous discussion feed for Dartmouth. And they're like, yes. Like they've been waiting for it. You know, some people are more skeptical, but a lot of people were like, great, I'm excited to try this. I'm excited to meet people and connect. And I mean, the way Dartmouth's taken to it is incredible. Everything from professors writing poems during finals period to be like, good luck in finals period, you're gonna rise like a phoenix or whatever, to like, yeah, it's crazy. To I heard about 2 women meeting on Librex and starting a finance club at Dartmouth, to significant others meeting. There's an article recently written up at Yale as well about 2 queer women who met on Librex and started a relationship, which was pretty interesting to see. People throwing parties pre-COVID. Yeah, it was just amazing to see how when you allow people to be vulnerable and social, they connect. People have this natural desire to connect.
Yeah, when they have a natural desire to have a voice, and then when that voice is paired with freedom, then you could truly express yourself, and there's something liberating about that. And in that sense, you're connecting as your true self, whatever that is. What are the most powerful conversations you've seen on the app? You mentioned like people connecting.
The hard part of that is the sorting, you know, figuring out which one am I going to put at the top.
Mental sorting out. Just something that stand out to you. Sorry, I don't mean to do like the top 10 conversations ever of all time ever on the app. I just mean like stuff that you remember that stands out to you.
I remember this one really amazing comment from this. He was a Mexican international student who spoke out, and this post was super edgy, but yet it got hundreds and hundreds of upvotes within the Yale community. It was a Yale community specific post. And we should point out that there's a school specific community now, and there's an all Ivy community. So this was specifically in the Yale community. And this was a little while ago, but it stuck with me. This Mexican international student comes to Yale, and he starts talking about his experience in the La Casa, which is the Mexican Latinx, as they would say, cultural center at Yale, and how he doesn't feel welcome there because he's Roman Catholic, basically, and international, and how he doesn't feel like he fits with their agenda. And as a result, this place that's supposed to be home for him, he feels outcasted in and feels more alone than he does anywhere else on campus.
That's powerful.
Yeah. That was powerful to me. Yeah. It's hearing someone who should be feeling supported by this culture say, actually, this is not doing anything for me. Like, this is not helping me.
Yeah.
This is not where I feel at home.